The most important person in this world is my daughter. You are so much more. You are so much more than even you know.
Christina Applegate's story begins in Hollywood, where she was born on November 25, 1971. Her father was a record producer, and her mother was an actress and singer. But the glamorous picture of her childhood is far from the truth. Soon after her birth, her parents separated, leaving her mother to raise her alone. Because her mum couldn't afford babysitters, Christina was brought along to auditions and performances. At only 3 months old, she appeared on the soap opera Days of Our Lives with her mother. By 5 months, she was already in a baby bottle. Commercial. While most kids spent their early years playing with toys and cartoons, Christina's earliest memories were of cameras, lights, and sets. Her mother even used candy to coax her into going on stage. She grew up surrounded by actors and musicians. Her mother even dated Stephen Stills, who gave Christina a guitar she kept for years. To outsiders, it may have looked like a lucky childhood in show business, but in reality, Christina was thrown into an adult world before she even had a chance to be a child. That constant pressure to perform shaped her life in ways that would later become both a gift and a heavy burden. By age 9, Christina had already acted in films like Jaws of Satan and TV shows such as Charles in Charge and Silver Spoons, but it was in 1987, when she was only 15, that she got her big break as Kelly Bundy in Married with Children. The role turned her into a household name, but it also marked the beginning of her painful struggles with body image. Even before fame, a neighborhood boy once called her fat, and that single word stuck with her. At just 15, her mother enrolled her in Weight Watchers. Christina began to eat so little that some days she would only allow herself 5 almonds. If she ate more, she would cry and avoid leaving the house. On camera, she became the iconic blonde daughter who made millions laugh. Off camera, she was silently starving. For decades, Christina lived with an eating disorder that she never publicly admitted until 2024. She later revealed that the pressure to stay thin in Hollywood was unbearable. She wanted her bones to show, believing that was the only way to succeed. Even today, she struggles with mirrors, and sometimes writes notes on them to remind herself not to break down. Her story shows how fame, especially for young women in Hollywood, can come at a painful cost. After Married with Children, Christina wanted to escape the dumb blonde image. She starred in films like Don't Tell Mum, The Babysitter's Dead, The Big Hit, and Mafia, which showed her versatility even when critics were not always kind. Over time, some of her projects became cult favorites. In 2002, she starred in The Sweetest Thing alongside Cameron Diaz and Selma Blair. Critics didn't love the film, but audiences connected with her humor and charm. Then came Anchorman in 2004, where she played Veronica Corningstone opposite Will Ferrell. This role showed that Christina could hold her own in improvisational comedy, proving she was more than just a sitcom star. In 2005, she fulfilled her dream of performing on Broadway in Sweet Charity. Her performance was so powerful that she earned a Tony nomination. But the journey was not without pain. She broke a bone in her foot during a performance and had to dance in medical boots. That injury ended her dancing career permanently, even though Broadway had been her lifelong dream. This period of her life was full of professional highs, but behind the curtain, her personal struggles were just beginning. In her personal life, Christina experienced both love and devastating loss. She married actor Jonathan Sheck in 2001, but their relationship ended in divorce by 2007. Shortly after, she lost her ex-boyfriend, photographer Lee Grievous, to a heroin overdose. He was only 26 years old. Christina was heartbroken, calling him an incredible person despite his struggles with addiction. Her personal pain deepened further in 2008 when she was diagnosed with breast cancer at just 36 years old. Because she carried the BRCA1 gene mutation, her risk was extremely high. She chose to undergo a double mastectomy, a decision that shocked many but gave her peace of mind. Christina admitted she cried and screamed through the process, but tried to keep her humor alive. She even joked that she would have the best boobs in the nursing home. After surviving cancer, she started a foundation called Right Action for Women to help provide screenings for other women at risk. Her strength in turning tragedy into action inspired many, but it also showed how much suffering she had endured in silence. Even while battling health issues, Christina kept working. She returned to television in Jessie, earning a Golden Globe nomination, and later appeared on Friends as Rachel's sister Amy, a role that won her an Emmy. In 2007, she starred in Samantha Who, where she also worked as an executive producer. The show was about a woman rebuilding her life after losing her memory, which strangely mirrored Christina's own battles of starting over. But fame also brought danger. In 2012, she and her husband, musician Martin Lenoble, were targeted by a stalker who threatened to kill him. Years earlier, someone had even broken into her home and tried on her clothes. These terrifying moments forced Christina to increase security, especially since she was raising a young daughter. The constant balance of working, fighting health battles, and protecting her family weighed heavily on her. Yet she kept moving forward, showing resilience even when life kept throwing challenges her way. In 2021, while filming the final season of Dead to Me, Christina received life-changing news. She had multiple sclerosis, MS. She had noticed early signs years before, like falling on set, but dismissed them. By the time of her diagnosis, her health had worsened quickly. She often needed a wheelchair to get to set, and struggled with basic tasks, like opening doors. Still, she finished filming, even though she described the experience as living in hell. MS caused her to gain weight, weakened her muscles, and forced her to walk with a cane. She admitted she no longer enjoyed living, and often stayed in bed. In 2023, she suffered from a severe stomach virus after eating contaminated food, leading to countless hospital visits. She even shared painful details of wearing adult diapers and screaming in pain from sharp stomach cramps. By 2024, she announced that she likely would not act on camera again, except possibly doing voice work. Her appearance at the Screen Actors Guild Awards became a symbolic farewell. As she admitted, it would be her last major public event. Christina has also been open about her mental health struggles. On her podcast in 2024, she admitted that she was in such a deep depression that even simple things like walking or drinking coffee felt pointless. Her honesty shocked fans, and rumors spread about her being on suicide watch, which she denied. She explained that speaking openly about her depression was healing, not dangerous. Still, her honesty sometimes led to backlash. After the 2024 election, she went online and criticized people who voted against women's or disability rights. Her emotional posts went viral, and although she apologized later, some fans turned against her. In early 2025, when wildfires devastated Los Angeles, she again spoke out passionately, defending her city against critics who said Hollywood deserved it. Her fiery words drew both support and criticism. These moments showed that Christina was no longer willing to stay silent, even if it cost her fans. Instead, she chose honesty, no matter how raw or controversial it sounded. By 2025, Christina Applegate's life had changed dramatically. Once known for her beauty, dancing, and comedic timing, she now uses a cane and lives with constant pain. Watching herself on Dead to Me was difficult because she no longer recognized her own body. Still, she has found ways to keep working, especially through voice acting. There were plans to bring back Married with Children as an animated series with the original cast, where Christina would reprise her role as Kelly Bundy. Sadly, in July 2025, the project was cancelled, closing another chapter in her career. Yet, she is not giving up completely. In 2026, her memoir, You with the Sad Eyes, will be released, promising to reveal long-hidden trauma, abuse, and struggles with body image. For decades, Christina has been known for her strength and humor, but her memoir will finally let the world see her truth. Despite all the heartbreak, she continues to inspire fans by showing vulnerability, honesty, and resilience. Christina Applegate's story may be sad, but it is also one of survival, courage, and an unshakable will to keep going. Everything seems lost, Christina Applegate was never just another actress in Hollywood, she redefined what a sitcom daughter could be. When she took on the role of Kelly Bundy in Married with Children, she wasn't simply playing a ditzy blonde stereotype, she gave Kelly a sharp wit, a mischievous spirit, and a comedic timing that made her unforgettable. Even when the jokes were sometimes shallow, Christina found a way to make them land with charm and personality. What people may not realize is how difficult that kind of comedy is. It's not easy to play dumb without becoming irritating, but Christina made Kelly lovable. The show lasted for 11 seasons, and a big reason was her ability to balance humor with heart. Later in her career, shows like Samantha Who and Dead to Me showed her depth as both a comedic and dramatic actress. With Dead to Me, she even won a Critics' Choice Award and earned multiple Emmy nominations. In many ways, Christina helped shape modern TV comedy, paving the way for more complex female characters. She proved that women could be funny, flawed, and vulnerable all at once. This legacy is one that will last far beyond her acting years. Of all the roles Christina Applegate has ever played, none has been as important as being a mother. In 2011, she gave birth to her daughter, Sadie Grace, with musician Martin Lenoble. For Christina, motherhood came after years of heartbreak, health struggles, and uncertainty. She once said that holding her daughter for the first time was the happiest moment of her life. Despite her fame, Christina tried to give Sadie as normal a childhood as possible. She avoided oversharing her daughter's life in the media and focused on creating stability at home. Still, her illnesses made motherhood challenging. When she underwent her double mastectomy, she worried about how it would affect her ability to nurture her child. Later, with her MS diagnosis, she feared her daughter would see her only as sick or weak. But instead, Sadie became a source of strength for Christina. She openly admitted that her daughter was one of the reasons she kept fighting every day. Even when she stayed in bed, Sadie's presence gave her comfort and hope. Motherhood reminded Christina of what truly mattered, and even in her darkest times, she found light in the bond she shared with her daughter. Throughout her career, Christina Applegate formed deep friendships that gave her strength during difficult moments. On Dead to Me, her bond with co-star Linda Cardellini went far beyond acting. The two women became sisters on and off screen, often supporting each other during emotional scenes and personal challenges. When Christina's health declined, Linda stood by her side, protecting her privacy and ensuring she felt safe on set. Another strong friendship came from her time working with Cameron Diaz and Selma Blair on The Sweetest Thing. Even years later, they remained close, with Selma, who also battles multiple sclerosis, providing unique comfort and understanding. Christina has said that talking with Selma about living with MS was healing, because they truly understood each other's struggles. Over the years, Christina also maintained ties with her Married with Children co-stars, especially Katie Sackhoff, who played her on-screen mother. When Christina received her Hollywood Walk of Fame star in 2022, Katie stood beside her, holding her hand as she struggled to walk. These friendships show how deeply Christina is loved within Hollywood, not just for her talent, but for her heart. In a world often filled with competition, Christina built a support system based on genuine love. Christina Applegate's relationship with her fans has always been special. From the early days of Married with Children, she built a loyal following, who admired her humor and beauty. But as her career evolved, so did her fanbase. When she battled breast cancer in 2008, fans around the world sent her letters, artwork, and messages of encouragement. Many shared their own cancer stories, thanking her for being brave enough to speak openly. Later, when she revealed her MS diagnosis, the outpouring of support grew even stronger. Fans organized online groups, fundraisers, and awareness campaigns in her honor. Christina often says she feels held up by the love of strangers who became like family. She also used her platform to connect with those who were suffering. On social media, she openly talks about her pain, her frustrations, and her fears, to gain sympathy, but to remind others they are not alone. That honesty made fans love her even more. Instead of hiding her struggles, Christina embraced vulnerability. which gave comfort to countless people facing their own battles. In a way, her story has become